When you think of ways to improve your performance, you would think of things like your training, your mentality, as in how you would approach learning and dealing with issues, your diet possibly, and maybe even your peripherals if you've been using the same ones for a long time and you feel the need to change. However, you can never fathom that there might be one single thing you need to change that will give you a boost in performance without requiring a long time or much effort at all to do. What I'm talking about is the bold buff. Several pro players from different esports scenes have done the bold buff before, and it actually works. We got Caps, who is pretty much known as the Western GOAT of League of Legends. He went bold in 2021 and he's one of the best players to have come out from the Western regions. Even though the season he went bold in was probably the only time he didn't make it to Worlds, still his team had some problems with synergy and chemistry, so it's inconclusive whether or not the boldness had any effect. Next, we got Demon1 from Valorant, who won Esports Breakout Player of the Year. He pretty much just came out of nowhere and dominated VCT Americas with Evil Geniuses, a team considered to be the middle of the bunch. He went bold a month before they went to an international tournament, the Masters Tokyo, and placed second. That was his first international tournament, by the way. After that, they proceeded to dominate the biggest tournament of the year, Champions 2023. Seems like the bold buff might actually have a long-lasting effect. Lastly, Elige from Counter-Strike has also gone bold last year after leaving Liquid for Complexity, adding in much needed firepower to the team and helping them make very solid runs in big tournaments like Blast Premier Fall and IEM Sydney. Not only that, many players that leave their former team usually run into some performance slump as they get used to playing with their new teammates, but Elige did not experience that at all and instead was very quick in raising the skill ceiling of Complexity. Now let's get into the details of this buff and understand its nature. How does the buff activate? Is it the act of shaving your hair off, like with dopamine, where the process rewards your brain more than the actual result? Or is it maybe a placebo, as being bold might give one a manly look and boost confidence? Well, I reckon the buff is only applied after you finish shaving, and it isn't because you gained something new, but instead because you lost something you once had, that being the hair. If we take a look at what the purpose of our hair is, it's supposed to protect your scalp from sun damage and is responsible for regulating body heat. The second part is what we're going to hone in on because body heat is good for you. It helps you stay warm in cold temperatures, and being warm can improve memory and help you stay alert. These two aspects are really good in gaming because improved memory can help you solidify what you've learned and also be much more aware of in-game factors such as past enemy strats and their tendencies. Increase in alertness can promote focus, which in turn can lead to the likeliness of getting into the flow state and also improving reaction time. However, that kind of goes out the window when you look at pro players. Pro players spend most of their time scribbing and reviewing VODs under a more controlled environment, meaning that the heat is on when it's too cold and the aircon is on when it's too hot. At least for the pros that are signed to notable orgs, they rarely play under circumstances that are too extreme, so if you have a chunk of hair just sitting on your head, that could possibly affect your performance. How? Through overheating. No, we're not talking about getting a couple of kills, overheating and then dying like a dog. I'm talking about the body physically overheating, aka heat exhaustion. Overheating could lead to having a heat stroke, but I doubt it can get that serious even if you have super long hair. Heat exhaustion, on the other hand, is a less serious but still pretty uncomfortable thing to go through, and symptoms of this are quite detrimental to your performance. The main ones are dizziness, fatigue, nausea, and headache. What do all these have in common? Well, they all affect you not just physically but also mentally. These four symptoms are all focus breakers. They make you less likely to completely focus on the game, as just a slight headache can feel like someone's holding a shard of glass and constantly stabbing the side of your head as you play. This is similar to having your stats reduced by, let's say, 50%, and you're going against people who are at the same skill level as you or maybe even better than you. You can't afford to have any interference that might affect your play. Shaving your head can help lower your body heat and stop you from overheating. In a sense, it is more efficient to have no hair instead because it's easy to add more than it is to remove, like with hair wax or hair clay. Have you ever tried scooping a large amount and then realizing as you apply the wax that it just feels too sticky? You basically messed up, and the only way you can get it out is through showering. Now, in the same way, if you don't have hair, it's easy to lower the temperature of your AC or turn up the heat, but it's harder to adjust the temperature when your hair is constantly changing in its length variable. 2 weeks go by, your hair gets longer so you get hot more easily, then you get a haircut and all of a sudden your head gets a little cold the moment you step out because all the hair's gone. It's simply easier to manage when you got nothing to begin with. In conclusion, just go bold. If you care about how well you perform in game, you need to get a shaver and go ham with it.